Morning, everybody. Myself, MG Srinivas, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government First Rate College, Mulbagal. I am presenting a video of the BSc first semester Physics session 13 of Bengaluru North University on the topic geostationary and geosynchronous orbits. So the contents of my presentation include the principle of launching artificial satellites, geostationary orbits, geosynchronous orbits, geostationary satellites, applications of geostationary and geosynchronous satellites, calculation of height and orbital velocity of geostationary satellite. The learning objectives of this topic are to study the principle of launching of artificial satellites, to study the concept of geostationary orbits, to study the concept of geosynchronous orbits, to study about geostationary satellites, to mention the applications of geostationary and geosynchronous satellites, and finally to calculate the height and orbital velocity of geostationary satellite. The session outcomes are: students will be able to understand the principle of launching artificial satellites, the concept of geostationary orbits, the concept of geosynchronous orbits, concept of geostationary satellites. Students will be able to mention the applications of geostationary and geosynchronous satellites. Also, students will be able to calculate the height and orbital velocity of geostationary satellite. Coming to the principle of launching artificial satellites. The artificial satellites are launched by means of multi-stage rockets. To put a satellite into the orbit, first the rocket carrying the satellite is fired with sufficient velocity to required height. Then the satellite is ejected from the rocket with a tangential velocity to keep it in a specific orbit. The type of the orbit in which a satellite goes depends on the velocity given to the satellite. When V is less than V0, that is when the velocity of the satellite is less than the orbital velocity, the satellite falls back to Earth. When V is equal to V0, that is when the velocity of the satellite is equal to the orbital velocity, the satellite goes into a circular orbit. When V is greater than V0 but less than VA, that is when the velocity of the satellite is greater than orbital velocity but less than the escape velocity, the satellite goes into an elliptical orbit. When V is equal to VA, that is when the velocity of the satellite is equal to the escape velocity of the satellite takes a parabolic path and escapes to infinity. When V is greater than VA, when the velocity of satellite is greater than the escape velocity, the satellite takes a hyperbolic path and escapes to infinity. So here in this picture, we can see the type of orbit the satellite takes: the circular path, elliptical path, parabolic path, and hyperbolic path. The satellite in a fixed orbit continue to revolve in the same orbit around the Earth over a period of years. Satellites are found to drift from their regular orbits. For this, the motion of the satellites has to be observed constantly, and necessary corrections have to be effected whenever it is required. Now let us study about geostationary and geosynchronous orbits. If the satellite is moving in the circular equatorial orbit and its angular velocity is equal to Earth's angular velocity, the satellite is said to be moving along with Earth. This satellite appears stationary from the Earth, and this orbit is called geostationary orbit, which we can notice from this diagram. The features of the geostationary orbit are: the geostationary orbit is circular. The geostationary orbit is exactly in equatorial plane, that is directly above the equator of Earth, and thus inclination is 0. The angular velocity of the satellite in geostationary orbit is equal to angular velocity of Earth. The period of revolution of the satellite in geostationary orbit is equal to the period of rotation of Earth. A satellite in geostationary orbit finishes one revolution around the Earth in exactly 1 day, that is 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4.1 seconds. There is only one geostationary orbit. Sometimes we send a satellite into the space which, though has a period of revolution is equal to the period of rotation of Earth, but its orbit is not in equatorial plane nor circular. The orbit is inclined from the equatorial orbit. The satellite in this orbit does not appear stationary from the Earth. It looks oscillating but not stationary. This orbit is called geosynchronous orbit. The features of the geosynchronous orbits are: the orbit is not circular, the orbit is not in equatorial plane, it is inclined orbit. The angular velocity of the satellite in geosynchronous orbit is equal to angular velocity of Earth. The period of revolution of the satellite in geosynchronous orbit is equal to the period of rotation of Earth. A satellite in geosynchronous orbit finishes one revolution around the Earth in exactly 1 day, that is 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4.1 seconds. There are many geosynchronous orbits. The geostationary and geosynchronous orbits does not cover the polar regions. The orbits which cover the poles are called polar orbits. Polar orbits are close to the Earth. The satellites which orbit over the poles from North Pole to South Pole are called polar satellites. Now coming to the geostationary satellites, a satellite which revolves around the Earth with the same angular velocity and in the same direction as that of Earth is called a geostationary satellite. A geostationary satellite is so named because it appears to be stationary, that is at rest when seen from Earth. The direction of rotation of a geostationary satellite is same as that of Earth, that is from west to east. Geostationary satellites are used for telecommunication, weather forecasting, weather reports about a particular region, terrestrial reports of a geographical area, networking of mobiles, etc. Geostationary satellites are also called communication satellites. These satellites have been launched and placed at different positions in orbits above a particular height from Earth. These satellites receive the signals from Earth and redirect or transmit to different places on Earth. The plane of orbit of a geostationary satellite is always normal to the axis of rotation of Earth. The period of rotation of a geostationary satellite is about 24 hours. Geostationary satellite revolves around the Earth at a height of about 36,000 km above the surface of Earth. The orbital velocity of a geostationary satellite is about 3.1 km per second. One geostationary satellite can cover almost 1/3 of Earth's surface. So, a minimum of 3 geostationary satellites are needed to cover the entire Earth's surface. Examples of the geostationary satellites are INSAT of India, Himawari of Japan, GEOS of USA, that is Geostationary Environmental Operational Satellite of USA, Fengyun of China, Meteostat of Europe, etc. ISRO in India has designed and launched a series of communication satellites called INSAT. They are INSAT 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, etc. The first Indian communication satellite launched was Apple Ariane Passenger Payload Experiment. The satellite which move in the geosynchronous orbits are called geosynchronous satellites. Geosynchronous satellites are used for voice and data communication, internet, broadcasting, cable TV, and radio signals, disaster warning systems, remote sensing, etc. Examples of the geosynchronous satellites are Raduga 29 of Russia, Astra 1C of India, Measat 2 of Malaysia, etc. Calculation of height. Now let us calculate the height and orbital velocity of a geostationary satellite. The angular velocity of a satellite is given by omega equals 2 pi by t. T is called period. We know that for a geostationary satellite, the period t is equal to 24 hours. When we convert it to seconds, we get 86,400 seconds. Therefore, substituting for t, we can calculate omega. So, omega is equal to 2 pi divided by 86,400. We get 7.3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 radian per second. Orbital velocity of the satellite is given by the expression V naught is equal to root of gm by r. Here g is gravitational constant, m is the mass, and r is the radius. But here V naught is equal to r into omega. Now substituting for V naught as r into omega, we get r omega equals root of gm by r. Squaring on both sides, we get r square omega square is equal to gm by r. So therefore r cube is equal to gm by omega square. So r is equal to gm by omega square, cube root of gm by omega square. So now substituting the value of the constants, the gravitational constant g is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. The mass of the earth is 5.98 into 10 power of 24 kg. And angular velocity we have calculated 7.3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 radian per second. On substitution, we get r is equal to 4.2 into 10 to the power of 7, or in terms of meter, it is 42 into 10 to the power of 6 meter. Therefore, the height of the geostationary satellite H is given by small r minus capital R. The small r we have calculated 42 into 10 power of 6. Capital R is the radius of the earth, which is 6.37 into 10 to the power of 6. Hence we get 35,630 kilometers. So this is the height of the geostationary satellite. From the surface of earth, it is 35,630 kilometers. Now let us calculate the orbital velocity of satellite. The orbital velocity of a satellite is given by the expression V naught is equal to root of gm by r. Substitute for g, m and small r. We get 3.08 kilometer per second. So this is the orbital velocity of a satellite. It is about 3.08 kilometer per second. Thank you.